Holy three-point shooting, Boston. Congratulations to the Celtics and birthday boy Al Horford. Good morning, everybody. Welcome into Undisputed on this Friday. I'm Jen Hale alongside Skip Bayless and, a very happy Shannon Sharp this morning.
The breakfast of champions.
Well, first of all, why are you talking? Why are you talking? This is my most
The nectar of the gods. It is yours today. That means you might actually, for the first time in a long time, have a good show today because you're drinking some dew.
Why you didn't tell me about this?
Where are the 80 cases you still owe me? I don't have any over here. I'm just empty.
See, every time I try to have a moment, you try to steal me and JT's moment.
Wait, why would you hold that up?
Okay, what about this one?
Okay, there you go. I told you. I've been telling you, you can't hold up the jersey of a guy who was 3 for 17 last night.
Hold on, how many assists did he have?
Well, those are the easiest assists I've ever seen. You just kick it to a guy who makes a 3.
That's
the cheapest assist I've ever seen.
All right, how you doing, Skip?
Congratulations to you. Congratulations to the Celtics. And in honor of your pick and in tribute to the Celtics, I decided to go with these.
So you try to steal my shine?
No, I'm just saying it's your day. It's your time to shine.
I called this.
Yeah. You called it.
Are you in trouble?
You told me that Boston was going to hit 21 threes last night. You told me they were just going to tear up little effing Stephen. It was effing Stephen. I knew I shouldn't have trusted effing Stephen on the biggest final stage.
Now you upset at Wardell Curry. He can't play it better than what he plays, Skip.
Effing Stephen.
Here we go. Let me guess.
Yeah, you get 2 bumps today. You deserve it.
Go ahead, Jen. I don't have my little moment.
Run in the fourth was incredible, guys. So much to unpack with this game. The Celtics didn't just win. They made history last night, beating Golden State 120-108 in Game 1. The Celtics become the first team in NBA Finals history to win by double digits after entering the fourth quarter trailing by double digits. Sure hope you didn't turn this game off at halftime or in the third. Shannon, what happened in this matchup?
The Celtics did to the Warriors what the Warriors normally do to other teams, Skip, is that they get hot and they blow you out of the building. And in the first, you should have been really concerned in the first half because Stephen Curry can't get any hotter than what he was. And you looked up at the end of the first and you're like, we're only up 4 points. We're normally up 15. We're normally up 20. This is normally a double-digit ball game. And then in the second quarter, the Celtics go to the half like, man, Jason Tatum is not playing very well. We got a couple of other guys who are not playing very well. And we got a 2-point lead. But true to form, what do the Warriors always do in the third? That's when they drop the hammer down on you. And they dropped the hammer down on us. I was like, I don't know, Boston. Y'all did a great job withstanding that first one. But can y'all withstand this flurry that they keep throwing at you? And then in the fourth quarter, JB got going. And then he hit a pull-up 3, Skip, and I'm like, hold on, it's a 5-point game. As great as they played in the third quarter. And then old Derek White, I told you, Skip, he's good for 2 games.
You didn't tell me. I told you from the start. I told you in his early days with the Spurs, this man has star quality, and Pop ruined him, Pop doghoused him, and Pop gave him to the Boston Celtics.
We should appreciate that, because I remember he had that game against, I think it was the Nuggets, and you and I talked about it, and you were like, well, I think he could be a star. I was like, I don't know about a star, Skip. I think he had a good game. And then he came along.
They ended up losing to the Nuggets in 7.
They did.
Go ahead.
But he had a couple of good games. And then Al Horford. Skip, Big Al started bombing threes. But, I mean, look, give the Celtics credit because they could have easily ran and tucked their tails. But I think they know deep down inside, we've been down by double digits before in 2 of the last 3 series in a game and found a way to scratch and claw ourselves and get back into the ball game. They're like, if we can hit a couple of shots and we can defend just a little and not give Looney offensive rebounds, Skip, because Looney was getting the offensive rebound, kick the Steph 3, kick the Wiggins 3, kick the Clay 2 dribbles, and then he hit a 2. And then boom, boom, boom. I've never seen anything like the fourth quarter. Now, maybe you follow basketball longer than I have, but since the advent of the 3-point shot, there's no lead that's safe. And what they was able to do to the Warriors, Skip, this wasn't about offense. This was about defense. They got to be able to stop somebody. But the Celtics got hot, and that's what, I mean, Skip, a team get hot, what you do? Well, Al Horford is bombing threes. Derek White's bombing threes. Jaylen Brown's bombing threes. And then they put Marcus Smart, who's been on the bench the entire fourth quarter, and he comes in and bombing threes. You're like, if I'm Steve Kerr, I'm like, I just call time, hey, guys, come on. It demoralized them. And I know all the guys are saying all the right things, Skip. It's just one game. You can lose a game. But when you're up 15 and you're the Golden State Warriors and you lose, Skip, they had never lost a home game in the finals. At home, yeah, they lost on the road when they were in Toronto, they lost game one. But they don't normally lose game ones at home. And when they're up 15, the Warriors damn sure don't lose 15-point leads at home. They did that. Give the Celtics credit. The Celtics are made of something different. They're different. And it was an unbelievable game, but I didn't see this coming. Skip, when they got to 15, I was like, damn, well, there go my two little cases. And then Jaylen Brown happened, and they they made their first 7. And you look at the numbers, Skip. I mean, when you shoot 50 plus 60% from the field, you shoot 50 plus % from the three-point line for the game, the likelihood of you losing that game is not very good. Give the Celtics all the credit. They won this one. Golden State didn't lose this game, Skip. Boston won it.
I'm about to give effing Stephen all the discredit.
Oh, my goodness.
I will agree with you. In all my years of covering NBA playoff games and so many great NBA Finals games, I have never, ever seen anything like I witnessed last night.
No.
And if I had called you or you had called me with 2 minutes left in the third quarter and we had gone back and forth about the bet that was on the line, I would have increased it to 200 cases, not 2 cases. I would have bet you 200 cases that the Golden State Warriors at home, with the history you just detailed, at home with a 15-point lead with 2 minutes left in the third quarter, I would have bet you 200 cases they could get that home. And not only did they not get it home, they got blown off their own floor.
They did.
They swallowed nothing but their own medicine, Steph's medicine, like it was castor oil. From that moment forward, it was nothing but Boston. Because would you believe that from that moment, 2 minutes left in the third, all the way down to the Bielitsa 3 that meant nothing at the very end of the game with 16 seconds left, if I just take that expanse of this game, would you believe Boston won that stretch 48-18? 48-18 on Steph's home floor in Steph's house in San Francisco to a team that obviously hadn't lost a playoff game this year at home.
Right.
What? It's impossibly great. And it started with a team that in Boston that shot 36% from the three-point line during the regular season, which ranked 14th in the league, so it's sort of average.
Right.
Had shot up to this point 36% through the playoffs, so they'd stayed right on course. This is who we are. We're a 36% team, and they've had a few high 20s and some low 30s.
As Milwaukee.
I know, that's exactly right. And then that happened? Are you kidding me? Before I get to F and Stephen, could we see the onslaught that happened from your Boston Celtics starting with a 12-point deficit going into the fourth quarter? Could we see what
this is just the fourth quarter, right?
Just the fourth quarter onslaught starting with your man, JB. Actually, he's my man. It's a little contested. What you're going to see, that these are tough shots they're making. That one's a little bit more open from Jaylen Brown. And then here we go, a little kick out. Pritchard got in the act. Wait a second. Pritchard's in the game the whole fourth quarter. Yeah.
That's what he do.
Marcus Smart got benched.
D. White.
Yeah, D. White. Here he comes again. Now that's highly contested.
That's the one that hurt.
That hurt. And then here we go. Oh, Al Horford's going to get in the act, and he is ripping him, man. There's nothing but net.
I mean, no second thought, nothing.
Just nothing but net. Al Horford. And here we go.
Marcus Smart gets in
finally came in with at the 2:30 mark, and he makes the 2 late daggers. And it's an impossible onslaught in the fourth quarter of what they have 9 of 12
9
threes,
of 12.
while Steph and company are 2 of 8 from 3. So they got outscored just in the fourth quarter from the Steph Memorial three-point line. They got outscored by 21 points from the three-point line. Well, guess what? You're going to lose because every one of those threes, if we take them in order, We go, Jaylen Brown cut it to 7. Jaylen Brown cut it to 2. Then Pritchard cuts it back to 2. Then your man D. White, he cut it to 1. Then D. White ties the game. And then Horford puts you up 3, and Horford puts you up 6. And Marcus Smart puts you up 11. And Marcus Smart puts you up 14. Dagger, boom, game over. And it wasn't even close. I kept thinking, well, I guess the silver lining here is we're going to have a photo finish, man. It's going to go to the wire. We'll see what one team or the other is really, truly made of, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't even close because it was over with about 3 minutes to go.
It was.
So how do you go from down 15 with 2 minutes left in the third quarter to game over with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter on their floor, in their building, in their town?
Skip, you know that in years, teams have always been able to come back, but it was over the course of an entire quarter, maybe the entirety of the second half. But since that three-point shot in the heavy